to do, what to do, what to do. I have a to-do list. To-do list that is just absolutely crazy to finish this. Hey, how do they do a 60-minute makeover? Like, seriously, how many people come in to do a 60-minute makeover? They must have a team of goodness knows how many people. So, but I do know that once I get down to the bin chute, it will move quite quickly. So, I've literally got to quickly go. I've nearly moved everything out of my office. So, I'm actually now back down to sort of all the artwork now. So I've got bits of artwork in here. Again, this is all paperwork, this is all paperwork, this is all paperwork, this is all photographs, this is all photographs. Photographs, evidence, boxes, all paperwork, and then yeah, literally I've got to be sat here permanently because I haven't got my BT line in, which is really, really, really annoying. The challenge that we've got with all of this situation right now is it's just a rubber stamp. It's just a rubber stamp. What's going on with Josie is just a rubber stamp. And there's just not adequate, proper, correct supports. I mean, it's difficult because you just don't have transparency. No, it's not daddy, darling. Mummy's working. So I'm starting to see other sides of the coin on child protection matters, and I'm actually going to ask the police to help me deal with my trauma by letting me come out with them. No, there's no one at the door, darling. I'll have a look. Oh, you know, you can't have that closed. If I close that, I don't think you'll be able to breathe in that. Yes, the kids have taken the box and have sussed out how to get in it. If I close that lid down, darling, you'll probably either trap your fingers in there or you'll get stuck in it. So I don't think it should be closed. I'll do it with you when I can focus with you and just see how far it can go. So if you guys chill, have your waffles. You got all my folders out, have you? Okay, so it looks like you've got all my folders out. Anyway, let me come back in here. It's a bit lighter. In fact, let me just open up my house now because I need to crack on and get on. And on Monday, what is meant to be happening on Monday is adult social care are meant to be ringing to do an assessment. Now, I don't really need anything like that. What I'm dealing with is people's perception of me. So I'm dealing with people's opinions of me. I'm dealing with people's, like, if she's got such a debilitating condition, how does she roller skate and dance? If she can roller skate and dance, how can she struggle to just pick something up and put it in the car like the buggy or something? If, say, I'm in a shop and I'm struggling to reach something that's above my head, that people would then think, but hang on a minute, what's wrong with that? So living with such a hidden condition is a real fucking pain in the arse because I'm just looking for my little thing that I put up at my window to keep my window open. It's a real pain in the arse because it's going to the doctors. Oh, Harry's back. Brilliant. Harry's out of hospital. Fantastic. Nice to see you, Harry. Harry's out. Cool. Yeah, cool. They're all saying hello to Harry. He's obviously out of hospital. So at the end of the day, unless you have parents that have managed the ultimate balancing act of working and being parents and running the home and being there for children that are born with specialised conditions. And we do have, oh, there it is, we do have networks that exist within this world, but it used to be institutions. It used to be that, say your child was born with Downs, then they would go into a specialised unit. They wouldn't go into mainstream education, but they would go into, yep, you can have the last two though. They could go into specialised education, independent living places where parents used to go and visit and family and things like that, and they were run by carers and it was done privately. And then obviously we have the NHS. But you're going back as well to when mental health units used to be these big cells, basically. One for you, one for you. And I know independent living houses very, very, very well because I grew up at Huntington's, not me personally, but I grew up with my dad being a builder at Huntington's House and the Grange. So I think it was called the Grange. And they were, one was for the older generation and one was for the kids. So, and I grew up with them building the independent homes when Down syndrome, autism was first being put into the mainstream independent community livings within council estates. But we still live with this whole world, not just that people have hidden conditions, that people are hidden away from society. We if you go to London, you could walk down the street and you could see somebody who was a congenital twin who was walking down the street with their heads together, and that would be normal to see that in London, just as it would be normal to see transgender, just as it would be normal to see all sort of things. But when you're in such a community just like this, you know, for somebody to go and sit down on the bench, we have Kev here, and we have another guy, and obviously he doesn't talk to anybody, but Kev obviously, not round here, not round here, not round here, and he goes, hello, hello. He used to say hello, he says halo, obviously because of me, he says hello, hello. So it's still not. So most people with conditions are in their homes, still just being supported on basic management on whether or not they're able to make their own food, make their bed, whether they're able to get up in the morning. And as PIP DLA states, is like, how far can you walk without further deterioration? Mental health has a lot of protection. I've just found out, by the way, that bailiffs can't pressure anybody with mental health. So having this diagnosis for complex trauma is probably not a bad idea at the moment. Complex trauma, it is a hidden managed condition. I have to live with grief. As I have said, my grief is not as simple as burying my two children, having some form of ritual and ceremony, having some place to go on their birthdays and Christmases. I have to live with the fact that my children are growing somewhere up, going to school with people somewhere I don't know, and could walk past me any day. Well as trying to deal with the fact that I existed in one life and now I exist in this other life. And I love my children, but I'm a mother to all of my children, not this fragmented living that I've been forced into. So I've got to prepare for Monday. So even though adult social care is doing it over the phone, children's social care is coming in to listen to the conversation, because I've been trying to explain that one of the complexities that I deal with is that you're asking children to go into mandatory school, but you're asking for under fives now, because it's not like children are going in at five now. They're asking them to go in at 2. So you're asking children that don't get diagnosed with a complex condition until they're 5 to go in and be looked after people that don't understand complexities of the condition, with a mother who has to make sure that the children don't have to live with complexities of the condition because it's managed well and it's managed right. Am I fully educated in Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, Asperger's, and all of the understandings of it? No. I'm still learning myself. I've had to battle with my own diagnosis, being abused by the system, thrown down to mental health, when I have actually been dealing with a compressed spine, you know, and I do have an unstable neck to cord because of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. So at the end of the day, it's physical, but I've been talking to lots of different people who obviously, in terms of social care, you know, we've been talking about Kidnap, we've been talking about people who are in Broadmoor, we've been talking about, you know, people who have severe mental health issues. But again, seriously, I still don't see it. What I see is people being held in old-style institutions, waiting for doctors, being medicated, and actually even the likes of Charlie Bronson, if he was released properly, and it's about who you have around who understand you. My Uncle Sam, when he first came out of prison, I'll never, ever, ever forget going into town with him and my nan, and how he had changed, how he had become quite stressed and agitated by people around him. And I had a bit of a conversation with him about it, and he actually explained. He said, you know, obviously in prison, the slightest move can be somebody trying... What is it? Yes, I know, it's broken. My keyboard's broken, so I need another keyboard, or somebody who knows what they're doing. So, you know, he said, you know, somebody could be trying to snap your neck, stab you in the back, poison your food, break into your cell, and you don't know who to trust. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? Oh, I know. I shouldn't have these conversations around you anymore. That's why I need an office. So anyway, guys, it is Saturday. It's sell out storage secret sale Saturday today, and I'm just gonna, try and do as much as I can today. I really want to be out and about with the boys tomorrow and have a day off before social on Monday, knowing it's all ready and straight. And I've just got to do a bit of a clear up in the morning. And that I can actually get on with the paperwork of going through the actual paperwork with them, so it's all ready for adult social care, because I initially had an indicative budget and emergency plan, and then obviously I was moving to having an au pair instead, and that's why I was moving to a bigger house in order to be able to bring an au pair in, give her space in a room, and then I've got that suited for all, it fixed all problems and all solutions, so, and it was much cheaper, so yeah, anyway, I'm going to get on. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday. I'm going to keep these lives on and off short, and I'm going to still do my diaries for my hour long, but I am going to start making them more constructive, more around complex trauma, more around healing, more around dealing with the system, more around paperwork, and even the things that some people are only just learning to use a phone in a world where everything's going technology sort of mind. So I think maybe Universal Credits does need to start producing a phone for people doing job searches and stuff, and all of this sort of stuff, but not a phone, but something built that's just for communicating with the job centre and the things like that. We know until we come up with another way of people wanting to build people's homes and fitting their bathrooms and stuff, and trades and skills can be exchanged between people, then at the moment it is money. It isn't. It's going to be point systems soon. Everything will be on a point system scale. So, yeah. So anyway, the more and more and more I talk to people, everybody thinks this running as an MP is actually a really good idea, and they're not taking the piss either. People are actually saying that they would vote for me. So I'm thinking I'm going to have hurdles because of, one, my kids being taken, two, I come from an army background, I haven't had employment, I don't run a business, so I'm going to be hitting, and because of what I've been about. But I think if I was to do it as a community champion and run as member of your parliament, so it's not this, I'm your MP, it's I am your member of parliament, I'm going to speak, even if we have an MP, I'm still going to be the person who bangs our MP's head whatever way it goes, and go Donald Trump style. I think that's the best way to go, and quite a few people agree with me, so let's see. Catch you later.